Hey y'all, so welcome back to a new video, one that I am a little bit sad to make because this video we're covering two games that I completely messed up on from a winning or much better position. And here we are in the first one with d4, my opponent goes d5. I always play this way. I play a London like I know someone who got hit in the head, but whatever. e6, e3, knight f6, knight d2, all normal stuff. Bishop here, normally go bishop g3 when they go there. Basically saying that if they want the capture, they can, because we're going to recapture with the pawn. All very normal stuff. We're going to open up our rook. My opponent castles. I go knight gf3, developing. In the London system, your opponent is always going to either play c5 or c6. Well, here my opponent plays c5. Some of you might be interested in why I didn't play c3 here and instead knight gf3. And that's because you're only really supposed to move your c-pawn when they commit their c-pawn. So if he was going to play c6, I might even play c4 myself. And that's just a little nuance, but it's something to keep in mind in these positions. My opponent goes c5, I go c3, pretty reasonable. Knight here, bishop d3, queen here, and this reminded me of a position I had looked at a very long time ago in some old theory that I had never gotten to play, and I was really hoping that I was going to be able to play this. Play knight e5, the best move, then my opponent plays knight d7, and we get into the theory. And I really love this theory. Basically what happens, the reason why it's plus 0.4 is because black actually has to sack a pawn, I believe. But what you go knight takes, bishop d6, queen d6, dc5, and black can't take this pawn. And if they do, like here in the game, you get bishop takes h7. Such an amazing move. Oh my gosh. Bishop takes h7 is crazy. Bishop takes h7 is a wild move, and I loved it. I've never gotten to play this move before. It's in my notes. Bishop takes h7 is awesome. And the idea is that after king takes queen h5, king g8, now you play knight e4, and that's why the queen couldn't take on c5, because now the pawn is pinned, and we're actually just winning. We're actually just completely winning the game. The only move now is g6. Everything else is just completely bad because I'm going to get my knight to g5 and I'm just going to win the game. My opponent goes g6. I make a little mistake here. I go knight f6 instead of the right move, which completely loses. But of course I should just take the queen and then take the bishop after queen takes. But I wanted to do it this way, so here anyway. This loses because queen d6 attacks both, but neither I nor my opponent saw this because we're idiots. And instead my opponent just took my queen. I took his queen, and we emerge out of the opening up a pawn. But it's better than that because my opponent has this weak pawn on over here. I'm able to quickly castle and get over here. Maybe I'll castle this way, get over here. My position is beautiful. So how do I mess this up? How do I mess this up, you might be asking. And after here I go knight d3. I mean, pretty logical move. My opponent plays e5. I was prepared for this move. I thought it made sense. He's just trying to control the center. He's probably going to play the move d4, which I was expecting later. I decided to go long. I really shouldn't have done this. My king is probably better equipped over here. Maybe I should have gone short. Maybe I should have gone rook d1. Actually, all three of those moves are equal on the eval, but I went long, which is it's fine. It's fine. It's not the best, but it's fine. My opponent goes rook there. I mean, pretty reasonable. I go king b1, which I thought was nice. Basically just saying that, okay, well, you can do this, but I don't want you to have like some pressure on my king. Rook here, not rook here, because I can't draw arrows. I don't want you to have some pressure on my king. King b1 is almost always a useful move, so I go king b1. I mean, makes sense. d4, right? I play ed, and I play cd, which I thought was really normal. Another bad move. cd, which I thought made lots of sense. I mean, I'm just trading pawns. I'm up material. I gotta go for this. I should have played c4. Very interesting, very instructive move. The idea of c4 is basically, okay, my king's on this side, I'm gonna lock this pawn in place and not let your rook get in. That's like the most important thing. And then I'm gonna bring my pieces. I might solidify this pawn. I might even, no, I'm gonna solidify this pawn, and I'm going to start hampering up pressure over here. It may also pressure over here. I just have a great position. My knight's gonna be able to leap out here onto this square in some lines and onto this square in others, and my position is just a lot better after the move c4, just locking everything up around my king. But instead I take, because I wasn't really thinking correctly at this point, I was just like, oh well, I'm gonna win. I mean, I'm up a pawn, this position looks great, I'm just gonna win this endgame, this is easy. But after rook takes, I played b3, which made sense. The idea is after he doubles up, I'm gonna play knight b3 and trade everything. Rook e8, knight b2. Takes. Everything is traded. I thought, okay, easy knight endgame. I'm winning. I'm up a pawn. And I'm right. I'm just completely winning here. But I do this in such a stupid way. My opponent goes king here first. For some reason, I didn't go king c2. I guess I was kind of scared of this and like him getting over here in some lines. But I just get here, and this is like easily concrete. Maybe my issue was that I didn't see that this pawn was defended, but like that's not that hard to miss. For the life of me, I don't know why I didn't play king c2. Very natural move. King c1 also makes sense. Instead, I go here because I'm trying to prevent this move from being played. That's why I didn't play it. Knight up into e4, a knight d4. I go king b2. I'm defending my pawn. I'm still +1. King up, I go knight up as well. Again, king c3. For some reason, I got really scared of like some stupid like perpetual check or something. But I mean, just b4 here. And if he ever goes off to attack this pawn, like, okay, g3. If he ever goes to attack this pawn, I mean, okay, king e3. The knight is actually like basically lost. I'm just going to go off and win that pawn up there. I don't know why I didn't go for this. I guess I was scared of some stupid thing, but either way, I didn't play king c3. I played knight up, which makes some sense. I mean, I'm putting my knight into the center of the board. It's my worst piece. I want to get it in the game. He goes f4. I bring my knight around because I'm like, okay, if he trades my knight, I'm obviously winning. Easy win, king and pawn. There's nothing wrong going on here, but as you can see, I'm slipping. Of course, my opponent goes knight e2. This was expected. I didn't really expect him to trade with me, but I knew it was a thing. And my original idea here was to go like knight b4 and like try to pick up this pawn or something, which isn't really that smart. So I went back and I tried to hold everything. But again, this doesn't really make that much sense, and I don't really know what I'm doing here. I just don't really have a plan. And after king e4, I mean, I'm barely winning anymore. I'm barely even better, in all honesty. I go g3 and I just lose, and I'm like equal. G3 and I'm equal. King c2 is the best move here. This is kind of the last chance to play for a win. I guess b4 also plays for a win, but king c2 would make the most sense. I played g3 because I don't even know. I guess I didn't want the knight to come here. But then again, like, why am I so scared of that? Why not after like king c2? If I can, like, knight here, I mean, at the very least, I can play g3. Nope, I can't. At the very least, I can play, like, I guess I can go off and win those pawns, and that should be decent enough because the pawn is actually simply defended by my knight, and I didn't really. And I guess I didn't want my knight to be pinned down, but still, this is ridiculous, and I'm being stupid, and I shouldn't be doing this. So after g3, my opponent goes knight g1. Obviously, I expected this, and I play h3 like an absolute idiot. Like, what am I doing? Why did I do this? I don't even understand why I did that. I think it was a mouse slip. But it's been a while ago. Maybe I was just really stupid, but that just hangs a pawn. That just hangs a pawn, and I'm losing now after h3. I'm losing. Knight h3. I can't defend my other pawn. I have to go here, king there, and the knight comes back, and I'm just lost. I'm just lost. I try one more chance. I tried to play g4. Which I thought made sense because like if he does this, then I thought that I was actually winning, and I'm right. But also I even calculated this. This is also lost, which is pretty funny. Probably HG, and this is just losing, which is a little funny. Either way, my opponent just captured, which is very natural, and I gave some checks. One last thing, I sack my knight for the pawn. Obviously, I have to. If I don't, I lose. King takes, and I thought I was one tempo close enough to be able to pick up this pawn after like this. I thought I was one tempo close enough, but I just miscalculated. And he defends the pawn. I pre-move a little bit, but in the end, I'm just lost. That was the first game, and I mean, at the peak, I was like +2. Let's see, where was it? It was like here. I was +2. I was +2 here, and I can't believe that I blundered this position, this beautiful position. I mean, everything is winning right here for white, and I somehow managed to lose this. And the issue is that it didn't stop there. I had another game. The next game I played, it was a day later, but it was the next game I played, where I lost in primarily the same fashion here, against the 2160. And I mean, we can get into this one as well. I mean, I go d4, I'm playing with the white pieces. We get a Trempowski, d6, e4. This is the open Trempowski. I mean, no, this is the big center variation of the Trempowski. I don't know why I said open here. This has all been played before. For some reason, I messed up on my theory here and didn't play c4. I knew it was the best move, but for some reason, I forgot why. The reason it's the best move is because after queen here, I play knight d2, and I'm doing okay. Either way, c3, it's inaccurate. Here, this is the move that most people play. I go knight up, knight here. I go bishop up, which is a mistake. This game is much worse than the other game, but still I get like a very easy winning position. This game, I don't play very well because I don't know, I don't think I was in the right mindset. Bishop here, my opponent goes castles. I castle as well. I mean, pretty reasonable stuff here, and I thought I had a little sequence here that gets me into a better position, which was takes. And I'm just arguing here that, okay, he has an isolated pawn. All that is forced, by the way. All of what I play is forced. He has to do all that. He has an isolated pawn. I mean, I get my knight to the center. I thought that, in the very least, if I can trade down to an endgame, I'm just better. And I'm like, okay, well, this position seems pretty good. Let's go with it. I go queen d4, which I thought was very natural. I was originally going to put the knight here, but then I was like, I don't like that. I don't like, let me just show you. I don't like move e5 here. That's what I was calculating, so I ended up playing the best move, which is queen here. Basically saying that if he captures, I'm just arguing that I'm in a better position because he has an isolated pawn and we're basically at an endgame. The reason why it's slightly better for black here is because after c5, I thought here, and my opponent would have to like come back here. I'd come back up, and it's going to be like hard to defend everything. This is kind of my idea. I was going to play like knight a3 or something. After bishop b7, knight a3, I thought, okay, I might get some very interesting play here. And I thought that I was just going to be better in like all endgames because of this bad pawn. I'm wrong because my opponent actually has, one, the very nice bishop, and two, that he already has more development than I do and better squares for his pieces. Like, this knight has some pretty decent prospects, mostly about this square, but still, even if I like take that away, like, he's able to get his rook in pretty quickly. He's able to get this in, this rook comes in, everything is actually better for black here, which is disappointing, but reasonable. Either way, my opponent doesn't trade with me. My opponent goes back here. Good move. I developed my other knight, which I thought was nice. I mean, I'm trying to put my knight here. in some lines. I'm not too scared of f4 moves because then that opens up this square for me permanently, and I really like that square for my knight. Here, my opponent goes here. I expected that. I played this move. Not the best move because I mainly just missed my opponent's idea. I just like missed bishop b7, and I tried to play it off like, okay, well this is my idea the whole time, but it wasn't. It really wasn't. The thing that I really missed here was that bishop b7 was defended by the queen. Obviously, I saw this move, but I don't even know. I guess I wasn't in the right headspace at the time. I go queen c2. I should have played queen c4, but I didn't like my queen on this square. I just didn't like this. Like even like this move, threatening this, could be a big issue for me. I have to go something like this. I don't know. This is probably fine. Here, actually, I would win the knight because of the pin. But either way, after this move, queen here, bishop b7, I drop my queen back to c2, which I thought was a decent square. I'm lining up some targets on his king. I might have knight g4 in the future. I might have some tactics. I mean, anything is possible. My opponent goes rook here. Computer gives that a miss. It's fine. It's really not that bad. I bring my knight up. I mean, reasonable move. I'm trying to put my knight in the center. I'm trying to get my rooks in the center. I mean, this is all very natural stuff, but I'm just losing here somehow. Queen comes over here. I'm not losing here somehow. I'm losing here because mainly this move, knight f4. And this is what the computer was screaming at him the last move, why he gave rook ab8 a miss. And that's because the knight is actually a really, really strong piece here, and I can't play g3 because of this at the very least. And it just gets from bad to worse very quickly, and this position would be losing. My opponent doesn't find that. He goes here. I put my rook in the center. Thought very, very natural. I'm always looking for different knight g5s and trying to like checkmate him or weaken his structure or something like that. But I played rook here. I'm kind of preparing this because now I might have like some sacrificing ideas. Not right now, but in the future. Rook here. Knight g5 is the best move. I'm proud of this move. And I thought here I managed to get some really decent play. I was expecting the move knight f6. Either knight f6 or g6, obviously. He doesn't really have much of an option. I thought g6 was worse than knight f6. He plays g6. And now I bring my other knight to the center, and this is my idea after g6, and now I'm just targeting this pawn. And he can't play f6. You can't play f6 because now I have this move. And then I'm doing quite well. He brings the rook back to f8, and I bring my knight here, which is a mistake. The way to keep going here, the way to play for an advantage with white is a rook ad1, and just continuing to apply pressure. Obviously, this still doesn't work because of knight e6, and he's not able to do this because actually knight g6 is just kind of brutal. I just kind of made him here, which is a little funny. Like, yeah, I bring my rook up. Yeah, it's a little funny. But either way, my opponent plays well. I played knight g4, which I thought was pretty reasonable. And the idea is a very interesting one. The idea is like knight here, and like in some lines I can sack my rook and get this fork when the king moves up. And that's kind of my plan right now. It's not a very good plan. It's not a very good plan. I'm also trying to play this move in some lines, which doesn't work right now, but it might work later. My opponent goes here, and I find like the only continuation. I'm really proud of this continuation. I find knight h6, king g7, and now knight h takes f7. A nice sacrifice. Very, very proud of this. I spent a lot of time on this move because I just thought I was losing. And knight h6 is the only move. Here I thought, okay, well, both knights are hanging, I'm just losing. But then I calculated one step further. That's why I spent a minute on this move, and I was able to get this. Now, after queen here, I'm just winning. And if you're confused, if rook takes, I just get this fork on the king and the queen. And this is easily winning for white, so he doesn't want to allow that. He goes here, and I'm already in a +2, a +3 position even, and I'm just completely winning. And now we get back into the era of how do I blunder this position away. Queen takes, e takes f6, knight d6. I'm bringing my knight out. I'm up a pawn. I have pressure. Rook here. I mean, I'm gonna pick up the exchange. Why not? That sounds like a reasonable idea. Now I'm up an exchange and a pawn. Position is +5. Position is +5. Here, I drop my knight back, which I thought was reasonable. I didn't want to play knight e6 because I was a little scared of this move. I guess rook b8. I didn't really see this. I didn't really see the need. So I just knight back. King here. I brought my other rook in. Very nice. My opponent plays bishop here. I drop my rook back. Now I'm threatening this move to get off that trade, which would be easily winning for white. And my opponent has to stop it. Bishop here. I put my rook in the center, attacking the knight. I might have a fork if he allows, if he's really brain dead and allows this, but instead he defends with the rook. I play a4, which I thought was a really nice move. The idea is that I'm deflecting the bishop away from defense of the c4 square, and then I'm gonna play c4 myself, kick the knight out, infiltrate with the rook. That was a good plan. That was a good plan. I deserve some credit for that. I really thought that was a really nice plan. He respected me a lot, so he didn't take it. I brought my knight back, still trying to play the move c4, and with the same idea. He brings his knight around, but now I get in, and now I play here. And this is a mistake, but it's a little hard to see why. The reason why is because after knight e2, I can't really... I have to capture, actually. And the issue is that I can't take this because I'm just getting mated on the back rank. So I'm up a pawn. I'm up 2 pawns here after knight takes pawn. But I lost my exchange bonus, and that's why that's a mistake. It's not that bad. It's fine. It's fine. He has to move his bishop or keep the rook on the same file, and it's fine. It's fine. Instead, my opponent goes here, which I thought was a very nice move, just doing that. The best move is very interesting. I just have to take. I just take, and this is just an easily winning endgame because I'm threatening a fork. I'm going to win the pawn. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything's awesome when you're living in a dream. Now, my opponent, I don't go for this because I did want to keep my exchange. I just take on a7. Very natural move. My opponent takes here. Okay. I take the other pawn. I'm up 2 pawns in an exchange. 2 pawns in an exchange. I'm completely winning. Completely winning. Bishop c6. I go b4. I mean, I got 3 connected passed pawns. I'm gonna win the game. And I am keeping in mind that this move knight h3 is a thing, and I didn't really see any issue after just king f1, so I wasn't really too scared of that move. I should have been, because after rook here, I just completely missed this idea. I play here and get mated. I'm a little bit sad about this game. This game, in all honesty, hurt a lot more than the other one. The other game definitely hurt, but this one, I mean, what was that? I had a brilliant move to get my pieces out. I sacked a knight for the fork. I thought everything was really good, but then I just blunder mate. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? I don't even understand. And I went in 2 days from 2146 down to 2130, which is still a respectable rating, but it's a decent way away from my peak, and I was trying to get a new peak here soon. This is really, really sad. This is just I genuinely just felt so angry at myself after this game. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to try and fix that. I'm gonna try and have to fix that, even on a bad day, even when I'm not playing my best, and I know it. I knew in this game I wasn't playing my best, but I should be able to win these positions. I should be able to say that. I should be able to see that. I just missed his idea. I saw knight h3. I didn't see the rook was even attacking. And either way, I have to get better. I have to keep studying the game. I have to keep doing my puzzles. Yeah, either way, that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, do all the things that YouTubers tell you to do. I hope you found this instructional, entertainmental. I don't even know the word because I'm dumb. Yeah, all the above. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you found this entertaining. Good evening and good night.